I have my cozy ambience image and I would like to add two pets sleeping, one on the floor, another one on the sofa. So the procedure is really simple. All you have to do is find one image. You can find these images on many websites, both free and paid ones. So what I do here, I select the dog, go to video, mask, add mask, and with the pen tool, we make a selection. I'll add just a touch of feather, and by going to basic, I will scale it down to appropriate size. How about like that? It's not done yet, so stay with me. Next, I will do the same with a cat here. I would like to flip this image horizontally, so I press the mirror button here. I go to mask, add, and with pen tool, I make selection. Okay, again, selection is done. I may adjust a few points here. Okay, and add just a touch of feather. Again, back to basics, scale it down, and I will place the cat here. Okay, selection is done. The pets are there. However, you can clearly see that they are quite off and don't match the scene. They don't look like they belong there. So first, what I'd like to do is to add a bit of shadow underneath. To do that, I will select the dog. By holding Alt button, I will duplicate. Now we have two duplicates of the dog. So at the bottom one, I will go to basic, and where is position, y-axis is like this. I will move perhaps a bit down like this. Then we go to adjustments, curves, and where is Luma, take the top point and drag all the way to the bottom. Go back to video, mask, and what here we're gonna do, increase the feather, something like that. Okay, you can clearly see it already. Looks so much better having a shadow underneath. Then to make it even better, we select the shadow basic. Where is the scale? Uncheck uniform scale, and let's scale it in width, just like that, as you can see, right? This is the width scaling. So perhaps I will scale it just a touch, just to remove the shadows from that part and here, because it doesn't make sense. So I will scale it like that. And as you can see, it looks so much better. You can see some white parts are still visible, but it's a matter of selection. You can always select your dog, go to mask and adjust the pins. Okay, so here's one thing. Then next thing, by having the dog selected, go to adjustment. And here, really, depending on the scene, there is no one way that fits all scenarios, but I really suggest you to use the curves, use the midpoint, try to match the contrast so it looks more similar to the scene, right? Something like that, perhaps. You can see before and after. Now we can go to the cat. Again, I will do the same. I will hold Alt button, duplicate, so I have two copies of the cat. Then I will select the bottom one. I go to transform, position, and I will move in y-axis just a bit down. Then adjustments, curves, reduce it all the way to the bottom. Then video, mask, where we have the mask selected. Let's increase the feather to add that shadow there. Perhaps you can add a bit more harsh shadow by adding less feather. I will move back and I will create a harsh shadow along the edges right here, and then I will hold Alt and I will duplicate the shadow, and with this shadow I will increase the feather to create a more soft one. So have one harsh, one soft, and let's take the harsh one and perhaps we go to basic, blend, and reduce opacity. Like that. Looking better already. Now here, again, we're gonna do the same like before, where is uniform scale. Uncheck it, scale width, perhaps 1%, and I will adjust scale height as well, and this time I will crush it more and I will reduce much more, and then I will position. I do still feel that this part is way too bright. Then I will duplicate the cat, the good one, not the shadow. Here I go again to mask and I add another mask, and this one actually we can delete it now. And I will create a selection of this part of the cat because I feel like it needs to be darker. Okay, so I will adjust accordingly. Okay, something like that. And go to adjustment, again curves, and let's see what works here. Okay, this doesn't work. How about we reduce that like this? So we go back to mask, and of course we have to increase the feather. Then, okay, this is the shadow. So the main cat body is this one. If it gets confused, just turn off all of them and see which is which. So you can see this is a shadow and this is the main body, and this is a top shadow of the cat. So on this one I still feel like we need to adjust the color, and here we can go again to adjustment, curves. Let's see what we can do with curves. Okay, like this. No, not really. How about we increase brightness, we increase the shadows. Okay, and then we can go to color wheel. And I feel like it really works well if you add a bit of color tint of sofa in this example. So if you take a shadow and try to match the color with the object that surrounds your pet or your pet sleeps on, it really does the job really well. Okay, and then of course we reduce intensity. Like this, and this you can see before and after. Of course, this is not a professional way of doing color grading and matching the object, but this is the most fast way of doing it and getting still pretty good results. And what else we can do? We can actually select each of those pets, right click, create compound clip, just to clean up everything, make it all look more nice. Again, we select the cat, right click, create compound clip. Also, if you're interested in buying sleeping animated pets, I have a pack for sale that you can find on my Ko-Fi store. There are pets, the same ones that have an animated breathing animation. And also they have added shadow underneath that would save you time and make your scene way much more interesting and that much better. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.